Summer wind blowing, feeling alive. Sunshine in my eyes will thrive. Dancing.
Hello, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel, Winging It with E. Thank you for coming back. If you're a returning viewer and if this is the first time you're viewing any of our videos, thank you so much. Please come back another time. Also, give this video a thumbs up and please subscribe. And to everyone who has subscribed, I say a very big thank you. I'm grateful and quite appreciative of that kind gesture. All right, now to the business of today. Today is a part 2 of the part 1 video I uploaded last time talking about my horrible experience at Casal del Papa. So if you don't understand what I'm talking about, you might have to go back to the last video I uploaded and watch so you can get an understanding of what we're going to talk about today. So today is just a part 2, a continuation of my horrible experience at Casal del Papa in Benin Republic. So after the receptionist told us that we had 2 options, either he was going to go change the money for us, and we discovered that he was going to cheat us. So that wasn't an option. The second option he gave to us, which was a very dangerous option, was we driving back to the border. From the border to Casal del Papa was about 2 hours drive, and this was 6 p.m. in the evening. So he wanted us to go to the border and get to the border at maybe 8 p.m., change the money. That's even if the money changing people are still working at that time at 8 p.m. in the night, and then drive back to Casal del Papa. This is somewhere do not even understand their language. So it dawned on me that this guy was being quite he was being quite cunning. He was trying to put us in trouble and he was trying to endanger our lives. In the beginning, when he started talking like this, we're still trying to be all nice and friendly, trying to make him understand that, oh, it was a 2-hour drive. We can't drive back to the border. It's getting dark. We don't understand the language. In fact, even the cab that dropped us off has gone. And there are no cab services at Casal del Papa, except you arrange for one to be brought to you, except you arrange for a cab to be brought to you from town. So we were, being gracious, trying to explain to this young man. I don't know if he's a young man. He looked like he was in his 50s. But this guy was so adamant. And then that was when I called my husband aside and I told him, this guy is a bad person and we have to deal with him. We have to deal with him. That is the only way he's going to cooperate, because all our pleads, everything we're saying to him was just falling on deaf ears. I don't know how somebody can be so hard-hearted. Like, you're so hard-hearted to strangers, to visitors, people coming to visit your country, and you're treating them like this. So I told my husband that I was going to switch it up for him. Like, how we say it in Nigeria, I was going to change it for him. And that was what I did. So I started raising my voice. I started shouting because I knew the only way we could get a resolution to this issue was by escalating it. So I started raising my voice. Like, I was like, how? What is the meaning of this? Why are you trying to endanger our lives? You want us to drive back to the border? It's getting dark. What about if we get robbed? Blah, 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 blah. I was shouting. Who is even the boss here? Where is your manager? I want to speak to your manager. That was when the guy that knew that, it's like, these people are not okay. So I started talking, I started shouting, I started making a scene. So the security men that were outside, everybody, the waiters, everybody came to the reception. What is happening? What is happening? And then I was trying to explain to them. It wasn't my business if they understood English or not. I was just talking, speaking English, because most of them understand English just a little bit, you know. But I didn't care. So there was one security man that came to me, and he could understand English, and then he was talking to me that, oh, madam, just take it easy. I think now, in hindsight, with the way that man was talking to me, I think that receptionist has a track record of behaving this way. So he told me that, don't worry, madam, don't worry, it will be resolved. Don't worry, because he could speak English. And then I was like, what nonsense is this? I traveled all the way from my country. Do you mean we don't have resorts in Nigeria? I came all the way. I'm here supporting your tourism your ministry of tourism, and you treating me like this. You don't do this. In Nigeria, we don't treat people like this. In fact, if I was abroad or in a different country, I know I would have been treated better. If I was dealing with white people, I would have been treated better. Africans, we don't like ourselves. I started shouting, and then I started saying, I want to talk to your boss. Who is your manager? I want to speak to him. This guy legit, like everything that was happening, this guy was just looking. He wasn't even touched one bit. And then I was like, I want to talk to your manager. Call your manager now. Where is he? Call him on the phone. So people went to meet the guy that, call the manager. Or like the security guys were like, I don't know what they were, telling him to call the manager. And so he called this manager and he started speaking in French to this guy. And then I started screaming again. I said, I told you to call your manager. I want to speak to him, and you're calling him and you're speaking French to him. What are you telling him? You are lying to him. You are a criminal. You are a fraudster. My husband was just looking at me. You're a fraudster. This is how you defraud people that come to Casa del Papa. Let me speak to your manager. Tell your manager I want to talk to him. Give me the phone. Give me the phone. Like, I was literally screaming for this guy to give me the phone. And he was like, no, madam, I can't give it to you. I said, give me the phone now. Give me the phone now. And then he handed the phone to me. And the manager was a white guy, so he could understand English. So I started explaining everything that happened, And the manager was like, wow. He's so sorry about everything. That it was a mistake on booking.com itself. That normally they do not accept other currencies apart from dollars, pounds, and CFAs. I was like, we didn't know, So he was like, okay, no problem. They were going to give us a room. They're going to give us the room we're meant to have paid for. But by tomorrow, tomorrow morning, we should just look for a means to pay and all of that. And then I was like, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I now took the phone from my ears. I gave to the man. Can you see how to behave? Can you see how to behave? Can you see how to treat people? Can you see how to treat customers? And that was how we got accommodation for the night there at the Casa del Papa without paying, So the next day, after all of the drama and everything, after we had slept and, calmed down, the next morning, while we were going for breakfast, so my husband had reminded me that, because there's this ATM card my husband has. I think it was like a platinum ATM card or something. Like that card can work in any country. Like it was so powerful. So my husband was like, let's try this. I don't want to mention the name of the bank ATM. Let's see if it will work, And then we went to the reception. This time around, that interesting receptionist had gone. His shift was over, I guess. So we met someone new and we explained everything to him. I was like, okay, no problem. This one was nicer. And then we used their POS, put in the card, and we just saw transactions successful. And then we're like, yeah. Man. And that was how we resolved a problem that would have put us in a bigger problem. So, based on that trip, What I learned, or lessons I learned from that trip to Castel de Palpa, I don't know if I still have time on this video, but I want to quickly just share those lessons. Number one lesson is follow who know road. When you're going to somewhere new, especially a country you don't understand their language, it's better you just go with this tour companies packages where they will say, oh, okay, though it is way more expensive than you'd spend if you're going on your own, but just do it because you're not used to what happens what happens there. If it was a company that booked us for the trip, I'm sure they would have resolved all the currency um currency disparity and all of that at the back end. We wouldn't have had to deal with that on our own. And another thing is um don't be overly nice when you go on a trip like that. At a point, be ready to change it, because when you're overly nice, you could be taken advantage of. And the third one is sometimes hype is just hype. When you go to, oh yeah, it was a really nice place. The beaches were clean. It was beautiful. The rooms were amazing. But I think the place was just overhyped, because if it was in a proper organization where there is good structure, you would not employ people that will make the lives of your customers a nightmare. You would be very careful about I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but I just felt that I felt it wasn't worth the hype. I just felt there was so much noise about this place and the staff members were not up to par. Also, the Wi-Fi in the rooms, in fact, there was no Wi-Fi in the rooms. We only had Wi-Fi when we go to the dining area, which was a big um which was a big problem for us because we virtually live on the internet. So being in our rooms without the internet was really quite frustrating. Was quite frustrating. And another thing was that in the rooms they had movies, Nollywood movies, but there was something weird about these movies. The Nollywood movie was in English, but we're hearing French. We're hearing French. This like the way they do all these Chinese movies when they'll be speaking Chinese, but you'll be hearing English. It just didn't work for us because we're just like it just looked like like a joke. So entertainment was zero, food overpriced, but beautiful beach, beautiful clean rooms. um we also went to do some activities on the lake. It was good too. Activities were good, but some of the staff were just nothing to write home about. So this was my horrible experience at Castel del Papa. And I told the receptionist guy, I told him I was going to write a review for the very first time on booking.com about what I had to pass through at Castel del Papa. And this guy didn't even bother. But instead of a review on booking.com, I'm doing a whole YouTube video about this. It was a terrible experience. So, anyway, if you decided to go and have fun in Castel del Papa, just remember your experience might be horrible. Also, remember that Nigerian currency holds no value outside Nigeria. So, This is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it and you learned all of the valuable lessons from this experience I had at Castle del Palpa. So until my next video, please give this video a thumbs up, share it on your social media, you know, more of information so that people know what goes on behind the scenes of those beautiful beach pictures, those beautiful resort pictures. This is the horror that goes on behind it, or this is the horror that can go down behind it. So, guys, my name remains E, and this is Winging It with E, where we come on here to just rant, talk, chit chat, and everything in between. Until next time, be good, be kind, be awesome. I love you.